environmental management accounting. It's a process of collecting and analyzing of the information relating to environmental cost for internal decision making. Next, environmental management accounting identifies and estimates the cost of environmental related activities. Identify and estimate the cost of environmental related activities and seeks to control these costs. Environmental management accounting is an attempt. See, for that also attempt is there. Okay. Prasad Environmental management accounting is an attempt to integrate best management accounting thinking with best environmental management practice. EMA aims to make a better use of information and management accounting techniques and to evaluate sustainability and environmental efficiency of a company. Sustainability and environmental efficiency of a company. The major areas for the application of EMA, are product pricing, budgeting, investment appraisal, cost computation, and savings of environmental project. Next, environmental cost. What is called the environmental cost? It represents cost incurred to protect the environment. For example, measures taken to prevent pollution and cost of wasted material, capital and labor.
Sorry, sir, it's
measures. Yeah,
prevent pollution and
cost of wasted material, comma, capital and labor. That is inefficiency in production process. That is inefficiency in production process. Next, environmental costs are incurred because of poor quality control. Poor quality control. Categories of environmental cost. 4 categories are there. Categories of environmental cost. Conventional cost. Conventional cost. Second one, hidden cost. Contingent cost. And relationship cost. Conventional cost represent raw material and energy cost. Raw material and energy cost having environmental relevance. Having environmental relevance. Hidden costs represent costs which have been accounted for. Costs which have been accounted for, but then lose their identity. In general overheads. Third one, what is the third one? Contingent cost, right?
Yes, sir.
Contingent cost to be incurred at a future date. For example, disposal or cleanup cost. What is the last one?
Relationship cost.
Relationship cost.
Example was what? Disposal of?
Disposal, cleanup cost. Then relationship cost. It's an intangible cost. For example, cost of preparing environmental reports. Next paragraph. In practice, environmental cost can be classified into 2 types. One is internal cost, another one is external cost. Internal cost and external cost. Internal costs represent costs which are incurred by organization, out of pocket, and have an impact on its income statement. For example, waste disposal cost. Whereas external cost, instead of organization, instead of organization that causes this cost, instead of organization that causes this cost, the costs are borne by society. For example, use of water, energy resources. Next, four different ways to categorize environmental, four different other ways to categorize environmental cost. One is the environmental prevention cost. Environmental appraisal cost. Other two things you can able to tell now. What are the two things? What could be the remaining two things?
Internal failure cost, external failure cost.
So based on what? TQM, right?
Quality.
Yeah.
Quality of quality.
Yeah. Environmental internal failure cost. Environmental external failure cost. Prevention cost, you can put the example. Feasibility study, R&D, etc. Appraisal cost, you can put example. Monitoring, testing, inspection. Internal failure, you can put the example. Recycling scrap. Disposing of toxic materials. External failure cost, you can put the example. Cleaning up cost. Restoring land. Restoring land, etc. Techniques for identification. Techniques for identification and allocation of environmental cost. Techniques for identification and allocation of environmental cost. That you have to put a star mark based on the case study questions will come. One is input output analysis. Second one, flow cost accounting. Not flow chart, flow cost. Life cycle costing. and activity-based costing. Next paragraph. After identification and allocation of environmental cost, company should consider the following. First one, water consumption. Raw material wastage, energy, transport and travel, consumable.
Transport and travel, consumable.
Consumable, yes. So nowadays, environmental costs have a huge impact in the organization. If they are not following the same precautions, they are not going to take. Government rules and regulations, penalties also very high. So, important with respect to environmental EMA is keep on increasing nowadays.